supposed to be. I'm right here. Can you hear my voice? My life, my love, my Lord, my baby boy.
The crowd had told Pilate they wanted Jesus killed. Pilate ordered Jesus to be brought inside the palace. The soldiers crowded around Jesus. They pushed him one way, then the other. They took off his clothes and put a robe on him. The robe was the color worn by kings, a reddish purple. The soldiers did this so they could make fun of Jesus. Look at him. Now he doesn't look like a king. A king should have a crown. They twisted together a crown of thorns. They forced it onto his head. They put a stick in his right hand and knelt in front of him. The guards laughed at him. Long live the King of Jews, they sneered. They spit on him and took the stick. They hit him on the head with it again and again. All the while Jesus did not fight back. The soldiers led Jesus back to Pilate. Pilate tried again to tell the religious leaders there was no reason to kill Jesus. But as soon as the priests and religious leaders saw Jesus, they shouted, "Crucify him! Crucify him! You crucify him! I can't find any reason to have this man killed." They answered back, "He says he is the Son of God, and according to Jewish law, he must die for this." Pilate went back inside the palace. "Where do you really come from?" he asked Jesus. Jesus said nothing. Pilate said to him, "Don't you know I have the power to set you free?" Jesus shook his head. He said, "You have no power over me. God is in control here." Pilate tried one more time to set Jesus free. The people still would not let him. And Pilate said, "I wash my hands of this."
I wash my hands of this.
The soldier forced Jesus to take up 2 heavy pieces of crossed wood. As they climbed the hill, Jesus stumbled and fell. The soldiers told a man named Simon to carry the cross for Jesus. A group of women had followed him up the hill. They wept for Jesus. He turned to them. "Don't cry for me. Cry for Jerusalem. This city has turned its back on the Messiah." Jesus could barely stand. He was so weak. A cruel whip had torn open his back. Blood ran down his face from the crown of thorns. One of the soldiers went up to Jesus. He forced him to drink some drugged wine, which may ease the pain. After tasting it, Jesus shook his head no. Then the soldiers stretched Jesus onto the cross. They nailed his hands and feet to the wood. Above his head they hammered a sign. "This is the King of the Jews." A soldier made fun of him. Even as he hung on the cross, the soldiers gambled to see who would get his robe. Some of the people shouted up at him, "If you are the Son of God, come down from the cross." But not everyone standing around Jesus' cross wanted to hurt him. Among the women were his mother, another Mary, and Mary Magdalene. Jesus saw his mother and John standing next to each other. He said to her, "Mother, this man is your son now." Then he said to John, "This is your mother now." From that day on, John took care of Mary, Jesus' mother. Even up until the very last moments, Jesus took care of those who loved him.
It is finished.